Hello everyone, and would you like to learn how to make a dragon puppet like these? Well, watch to find out how I personally make mine. To start with, I like to use a thick piece of cardboard as it can be the most stable to make your dragon on. Then, I always make these base sketches first so I have an idea of what I'm doing. I then trace them onto cardboard and cut them out. As this dragon has two sides that are the same design, or similar, I cut out the first half and flipped it and traced it on so that they could match. Then, be sure to glue the different pieces together and check that the mouth function of your dragon works well, as I'm doing here. If it doesn't flow smoothly, add any adjustments you need. The next part is to do the base, and to do this I like to make sure that my 4 fingers fit on the top widthwise and also heightwise. Then you want to make sure that it corresponds to the length of your dragon nicely so that it doesn't overhang or anything. Then you're going to need to make a second one of the middle part to glue it on so that it's good. And for the bottom part of the mouth, we're going to keep this the same size so that it fits nicely, although you'll see how to fix this later on. Then you can use some hot glue to hold the pieces together, and as you can see, my different pieces are the same widthwise, although the bottom one has got a bit of a different thing. This is because the bottom jaw of my dragon is quite thin, so I cut off any overhang so it can't be seen. You can also do this for your dragon if it helps, but it won't be necessary all of the time. As you can see here, because I've cut it thin, there's no overhang. I also added a little ring for my thumb to go in so that it's stable as it moves up and down. You can do this too if you need, or sometimes you make the bottom base the same width as your thumb. I've just kept my two the same as that's my dragon design. Then I like to use a piece of thinner cardboard to hold the two together here, but make sure that your two pieces line up when doing this, and give it a few test movements to make sure everything goes well. Then glue your dragon on and make sure all the pieces align. As you can see, my mouth has these indents which align up to each other, which I've carefully glued on to make sure they go well. As my head also has these overhanging wings, I've had to make sure that the two don't collide into each other, as the bottom wing had to go slightly back compared to the other one. I didn't want my head to be angled, so I had to add a few little bits here and there, as my base wasn't perfectly flat. Although this shouldn't be an issue if you've made your base perfect. Then, once you've cut out and glued on both sides of your dragon, you can get ready to do the next steps. This is just me showing off what my dragon looks like. Make sure that it moves nicely and the two sides are equal to each other if that's what your design is. As you can see here, the heads are pretty much in line with one another, and that's because we made them equal. The next part that we have to do is the forehead and chin, and that can be a bit tricky, but I'll show you a trick later on. There's also a look at the inside of the dragon and the size. Now, to do this, I like to grab a piece of paper and pin it on because the paper can easily be moved to shape, and then with a marker, you can draw where the dragon forehead lines up with it and trim it to shape. Then, once that's all done, because we won't be making the forehead out of paper, you can just take the paper off of the dragon, put it onto cardboard and trace the shape. I like to use a bit of a thinner cardboard here so I can bend it to shape. See how this one here can be pressed in nicely? That's the same type that I used for mine. And I also added some extra overhang just so it's nice because my paper didn't go all the way back. And it's also important to do the chin and inside of the mouth if you want it to look nice. Finally, once everything is put together nicely, you can paint your dragon. The process of painting is pretty straightforward, so I haven't shown it here. And the inside of the mouth does look quite ugly, but that won't be seen all the time. A few extra details can be added in this part as you go, and when you do the inside, just make sure it all lines up nicely. I hope this tutorial has helped you to better understand how to make a cardboard dragon, and this is just my method, remember? There are lots of other methods that anyone can use to make these dragons. I just personally find this to be the best. Have a good day. Bye!